Hello and welcome to Simba Wakati from home. So like most people, I've been stuck at home most of my days. But I've been experimenting with a lot of different recipes, doing a lot of cooking and baking as a way to keep myself off the laptop all day. So today, you join me in my kitchen as we are going to make feta and spinach empanadas. Empanadas are the perfect meal to share with your friends and family that you're quarantining with. So with that, let's get cooking. So first what you'll need is 2 cups and 3/4 of flour. Any flour will do. You could use chapati flour, all-purpose flour, self-raising flour, any of the flours. So you want to sieve that into your bowl. Then add a teaspoon of Spanish paprika. If you like it spicier, add a bit more. If you don't like it quite as spicy, you don't have to add it at all. And you can just use a wooden spoon to mix that in. And in this cup, I've got 1 cup of water and 3/4 of a cup of salted butter. Now, if you don't have salted butter, you will need to add a pinch of salt to this. Alright, so you can see the dough forming. Once it's not looking too sticky, then you are good to go. If you have cling film, you can wrap it in cling film to put in your fridge for around 2 hours. If you don't have cling film and you're trying to be environmentally cautious, you can just put it in the fridge in your bowl and keep it in there for a couple of hours. So while we wait for our dough in the fridge, let's get started on the filling. You can use ricotta or feta for this. It doesn't really matter, both taste amazing. But I am going to start by breaking up some feta, about a cup or 2 of feta. You might want to leave your feta out of the fridge for a while so it's not too cold and not too hard. I did not do that. I'm going to add around 1/2 cup to 3/4 of a cup of Parmesan. I like to add some more Spanish paprika. And then we're also going to add an egg. And you can just mix that in with your hands. Get nice and dirty. Oh, it's very cold. Very, very cold. So now that you're done with your cheeses, let's get on to the spinach filling. We're going to chop up 1 full onion. Now, supposedly the trick to stopping onions from making you cry is to put them in the fridge. I haven't put this onion in the fridge. Yeah, oof. Make sure to put your onions in the fridge. Once you're done cutting up your onion, you can just move that to the side of your cutting board. Wipe away your tears. Let's move that to the side for a moment. I'm going to grate 3 cloves of garlic. In this container, I've got about 3 cups of spinach, but once we cook it and we put it in the pan, it's going to amount to about 1.5 cups of spinach. So I'm going to get my pan out. Put my spinach in here, dish out my garlic, put in our onion. And I'm just gonna cook that for about 3 minutes maybe. I like to add some lemon juice and also a little bit of hot sauce. Mix that around a bit. And then you can put the cooker on and let it cook for a little bit. Alright, so now we can add those 2 together. The heat from the spinach and the garlic and the onions will melt the cheese so they'll all stick together really nicely. You can do a quick taste test, make sure it's to your liking. Very, very good. That's tasty. So now it's time to start. Ooh. Yeah, the spice really kicks in, but very tasty. Bring back our dough boy. Oh yeah, looking very nice. Sprinkle out some flour. It's best to cut it into around 8 pieces. Now I've got these handy empanada presses. So I'm gonna get some flour for the rolling pin and roll this out. You don't want them too thin, otherwise the filling will break it and it'll ooze out in the oven. Something like this should be alright. So bring out our empanada press, place that over, and then you take your filling, clamp it over, press it on, peel off the excess, and there you go. You've got a nice little empanada. I've been trying to make the empanadas without the presses. A little challenge for myself. It folds over and you keep folding it to make this nice curl on your empanada crust. Alright, so now you can sort of see those little curls. And there, you've got a nice little empanada. Now, if your empanadas don't look the best, don't worry, because they will taste amazing. Empanadas are a lot like people. It's not all about what's on the outside, but more about what's on our insides. Once you're done making your empanadas, you can put them in the oven for 20 to 30 minutes at around 180 degrees Celsius. If you like, you can also put a bit of melted butter on the top of them to make them nice and crispy at the top, but you can start to smell them once they're in the oven and you'll know when they're ready. They start to turn a little brown on the top. Alright, so when your empanadas are done in the oven, they should look quite like this, nice and toasted, very hot. So you might need to let them cool for a couple of minutes before you eat them. And when you break them, you can see all that melted cheese and spinach loveliness. You can do a quick taste test. Very delicious, a very successful meal. Alright, well that's how to make empanadas. I hope you've enjoyed the video. Make sure to clean up after you cook, wash your hands, maintain social distancing, and stay safe. And of course, get cooking!